Yep, it's gonna be one of those movies I I wanted to like this movie. I really wanted to give it a shot and went with an open mind, but unfortunately, Dario Argento is a producer in the church, directed by Michelle um, Michelle Michele Soavi, screenplay by Argento and Franco Fernini. 102 minutes. I don't know. Medieval Europe, crusading knights massacre a village full of suspected devil worshippers and build a large Gothic church while the curse remains. It is now present day, and this elaborate cathedral still stands. But when its sealed crypt is accidentally reopened, a group of people trapped inside the church become possessed by the fury of the damned. Can the blood of the innocent survive this unholy communion? Will the ultimate demonic evil be unleashed upon the world? The church was co-written and produced by Dario Argento and sealed the reputation of director Michele Soavi, stage fright cemetery man, as the new master of Italian horror. Originally known as Demons 3, this visually stunning shocker co-stars Tommaso Rana, Gladiator, and Asia Argento. Features a remarkable score by Goblin and Keith Emerson, and is now presented uncut, uncensored, and fully restored from original vault materials. Sounds freaking phenomenal, doesn't it? Yeah, for the first 30 minutes, it's like, let's get a bunch of demons that are inside a church. Let's just get them to be, and let's have like the tropes of what happened in Demon 1 that I reviewed. And it's like, okay, I want to see some truly unholy terror given for a budget that can work here, you know. And for the first 30 minutes, yeah, we get the Crusaders, which have the most, with a very awkward helmet design. It's like, okay, let's just have them go pretty much just pillage a village, just eliminate everyone, throw them in a pit, and have that massive hole just sealed and concealed everything, have the cross, and then just wait and see what happens. And I'm like, okay, cool. Got to 800 years later in a church, and I'm thinking, okay, yes, they discovered there's in this cathedral there's all the pit of all the bodies. I'm like, all right, I'm liking this. And then we get the guy with the deep voice from Ghostbusters. We get some guy who looks like him, or Gary Busey. I'm like, all right, he's this librarian, arrives late for work. I'm like, okay, I can see that. And then just gets boring. Nothing happens for a while. It's like, yeah, they start decrypting and deciphering what's going on. I'm like, I even like that, you know, when they're looking and translating Latin into English. I'm like, this is cool. I like this. But then we just get a possession. I'm like, okay, even a possession, but I'm just like, he doesn't look any different. His hair is a little fringed. Can we at least just see him try and slash some water on his face? But nope, he just slowly starts becoming like Jack from The Shining. I don't know. And then just for a while, nothing really happens. And then it just becomes tonally inconsistent. It just doesn't work here. It presumes like this is going to be a serious movie, but then we get some people who want to take wedding photos inside a church and say the F word, the S word, the D word, and I'm like, this is cheapening the movie. It really is. We could just get some awkward moments of just like, what is even going on? Why are all these characters here? And you know, you're thinking, okay, so they're all trapped inside this church. Are they going to form like a community of people of like how they're going to survive? No, we get a bride whose dress is trapped in the door, and they have to free her. We get someone playing a trumpet. We get a kid who's kind of looking and wandering around. I'm like, what is this mess? It's like from 45 minutes to an hour and roughly 25. I personally counted. This felt completely useless. And I mean, it's like, I can forgive it if at least there's some sense of panic. There's no panic in this group. It's like there's just those people that just come into this cathedral in 1980s Nuremberg, Sweden, or whatever it was. I don't. The church is like in Sweden or something like that. I don't know. There's no terror. There's no sense of panic, but not even until the end when things at least start to get going. I'm like, okay, good. Let's have someone being sacrificed. Let's go back to the past where there's someone being sacrificed. Yes, some redemption here, but then right towards the end when there's a demon, when there's like a goat's head. Who is that? It's not Baphomet. It's someone else. Baphomet, I think. The goat head that goes like this. I'm trying with the inverted cross. I'm like, yes, this is what I want to see. I wanted to see the massive ending. I want to see the orgy that's happening going on as the demon finally raises. I don't know. I mean, I just pressed the triangle button on my PS4 multiple times just to see what the time was going on. A lot of nothing. Just a lot of nothing. However, stylistically, it's freaking phenomenal. In between with the paintings and the church itself having this quiet dread, you can tell that something's going on. Like whether if it's the high ceilings, there's the paintings that are occurring of like some figures and of demons and stuff like that, which adds to the overall complexity and just outright unsettling nature of what could be happening, of these people from the 1200s wanting their revenge by reviving this ancient goat head Baphomet, I think. I'm like, I like this. I even like the recreation of that Vampire's Kiss portrait by Boris Slavkov or whatever his name. I'm like, I like that. I really like that, but yeah, I mean, even when they're digging, just the atmosphere, how everything's just so minimal, just creepy. And even the soundtrack, yes. Keith Emerson wanted to produce some soundtracks, and he sent something over to Argento and said, yeah, I like a like ultimately said, no, this is something even a child wouldn't like. Ultimately, 3 tracks were used from him, keyboards, and Goblin performed most of it. So yes, obviously it adds the eeriness of the keyboards, which could present an untold certain calm and absolute sheer terror, adds to contributes to it. But there's also some electronica, like when this unknown group that comes in 45 minutes, and I'm like, what is that? Mixing of the outside of what was popular at the time, Kraftwerk, Gary Newman, inside with a cathedral atmospheric sound to present a bizarro world. I'm like, what? Of course, the camera work is freaking great. There's a shot of Gia Argento kind of looking up, giving her like she's got this look about her, but she changes her outfits 3 or 4 different times and looks like a teenager. I'm like, what? It was just so weird. There's this other girl named Lisa. Adds nothing to it. I mean, what was going on with this? I don't know. And it's like we have the bishop, who's pretty much the head. It's pretty much the leader here. He knows what's going on, and he ultimately lunges himself off a cliff. And then there's this minister who then shouts, "No, no! What am I going to do?" Making it just genuinely cliche, not even conventional, but just cliched, and just doesn't work. I'm like, the camera work was great, and especially there's this one scene where it just does this long zoom in of just this scene like that was seen in Tenebrae. That here ultimately just leads out to some member of like a deacon or something like that. I'm like, that was a freaking beautiful shot and reveal. It that I liked, but just I don't know. You could tell I feel so torn about this movie. It's just, I don't know. 8 different script, like 3 different script writers that ultimately just led with the conflicting visions. This would be like the last collaboration with Argento and Savio, and it was a mess. I mean, they respect each other if I'm not mistaken, but this just, you could tell that they wanted to work together. They did. They created this beautiful atmosphere, but just the plot is non-existent. The characters are just bad, and just, I don't know. It's just the the payoff, I guess, is worth it with the orgy and everything, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I give this. I guess thematically, it just has to deal with like corruption that is going on beneath the surface and everything else like that. But yeah, honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this. I actually prefer Demons 1 to this. At least Demon 1 was fun. This was just, I don't know. Just, do I recommend you watch The Church? Yeah, but your mileage may vary.